To discuss Trump's decision to pull out of the Iran nuclear agreement and the effects this has had on the markets, we are joined by José Ricaurte Jaén. Jose, with Trump pulling out of the Iran deal, how has this affected global markets, especially with regards to oil and gold prices? And also, how is the dollar holding up?
Thank you for the invitation, Jack. I truly appreciate the opportunity that you're giving me and the team, the Ducascopy TV team, to share my thoughts on what's going on in financial markets. Trump pulling out of the Iran deal, not a bad thing. I like it. I think. And let me just clarify when I say I like it. For so long we have been very vanilla as far as all these deals, what's going to happen next, what we expect from different governments, and what I do like to know, and what I like to also do right now with your audience, is to share different sources of information. For example, I have to read a lot on a daily basis for research purposes, and one of the things, first pieces that caught my attention was this one from The Atlantic, and I'm just going to leave here, of course, the link that you can have it. And what I sense when it comes to pulling or not is how the media labels a lot of decisions from the Trump administration as malpractice, lack of preparation, incompetent, all these negative views, but we don't know. And for years and years, most of the U.S. administrations, they have been the police of the world. They have been taking care of everyone's issues, even in when it comes to financial markets. So now you're looking at a president that sometimes he lacks the preparation based on what we're used to, but he's just trying to do something a little bit different. Now, the other piece of information that I think everyone wants to watch is from our colleagues from Sky News and Cornelia Mayer. She's a resource analyst, and what she said is very important. This whole thing of pulling out of the Iran deal matters when it comes to the oil market. Right now, we don't have any massive impact. There's a lot to think about how far the OPEC, non-OPEC deal is coming, as she mentioned. But where I think is going to happen is that in the long term, and I'm just going to say this right away, the whole pulling out of the Iran deal is not the story. The story is the China de-dollarization and how the U.S. can be in a bad position in the long term if suddenly China start trading oil directly in massive amounts with Iran. And that's what matters here, Jack. That's what really is the threat. Pulling out, not a bad thing. Long-term consequences is where we will see if the U.S. government, the Trump administration in this case, was prepared. When it comes to gold prices, I'm just going to jump to the charts real quick. I have said this before, during 2018, I'm not a buyer, I'm a trader. I want to short this market. I'm looking just at a retracement, Fibonacci retracement. And a lot of people, the bias is to be bullish on gold. I don't know, again. If we were to buy physical, I will go with physical. But when it comes to the electronic asset and futures, I will, without delivery, I will totally short the market. I wouldn't mind right now if it goes all the way back to 1,330 an ounce. And if you can see, we have this range here all the way. It's a $35 range. Nothing exciting, at least. That's my perspective. But if it were to move and challenge again, flirt with the 1,330, maybe 50 level, I will happily take another short, big short, and look all the way back to this 61.8 Fibonacci retracement, the reverse retracement. And maybe if there's no break and close and open below this level, then I should probably be adding more gold and just keep playing the range. But there's no big deal. The market has been very It's a sideways market, so not much to see there. Now, when it comes to the dollar, I'm just going to take a look at the month value. You have to keep in mind the dollar make a good move, which was overdue. People were waiting for it. The sentiment was so extreme. Now, of course, we are now in the doors of a dollar rally. Very inconvenient for the Trump administration if you were to believe that they want a weaker dollar. But nevertheless, it's actually pretty convenient for the United Kingdom and especially for the euro. You're now in a position where Mario Draghi has said no words about when they're going to hike, and now you have Mark Carney from the Bank of England, in a position where he no longer has data that supports a hike. And today you have Barclays saying that probably it's not going to happen until 2020. So this dollar rally, it's really good for a lot of these countries. So pulling out of the deal, not making a lot of noise. Everyone is busy, probably it's because summer is coming, but there's a lot of things on the table.
Also, Iran remained in the headlines following a conflict with Israel and Syria. Did this have any big effects on the markets?
Yeah, Iran was again the whole conflict with Israel in Syria. Like I said, the market's so busy right now, and of course these conflicts, they do matter. But you have to keep in mind there's so much happening. Also now you have just to keep an eye on what's going on. You have Italy's lack of government coalition. So the fight is there. They are just going to jump into some of the headlines on Bloomberg. How things are, the comeback of populism in Europe, it's really affecting the Eurozone numbers. You still have, we haven't talked much about it as of lately, but you have to keep in mind the Catalonia independence. That's still something that the Spanish government it's fighting. They're dealing with it. So there's a lot of tension. The impact of the Iran conflict with Israel and Syria is part of the uncertainty, the different situations that we are experiencing right now, but not a major catalyst in financial markets as right now.
Finally, we haven't really spoken in depth about crypto recently. Has this global uncertainty had any real effect on Bitcoin, or are we likely to see a comeback?
Yeah, lately we've been being very quiet, but a couple days ago it was really funny how Bill Gates and one of the greatest of all time, we all know, Warren Buffett, they just trashed cryptocurrencies. But I'm just gonna share my view here. If we want to, we're looking at the weekly chart, not all information, but again, let's play the game and just see where we might head in the short term, medium term. We just need to have make sure the $8,000 level handles. If it goes well for Bitcoin, it might make a comeback. There's more technical factors playing in, and we can make an attempt to go all the way back to the 10,000 and why not the 12,000 level.
Well, a big thank you to Jose, and thank you for watching. If you like this interview and would like to find out more, be sure to head over to dukascopy.tv.